Karen fined me over my boat near her lake without knowing I owned the whole lake. When she pushed harder, I banned the entire HOA from fishing on my property. And that was just the beginning. When I bought my lakeside property 6 years ago, I thought I'd finally found peace. The water shimmered in the early mornings, and the dock gave me the perfect launch point for my old but reliable fishing boat. I was never big on drama or confrontation. I just wanted to live quietly with my dog, Milo, enjoy the water, and maybe retire in a few years. What I didn't expect was the HOA from the neighborhood across the lake deciding they had some say over my life. See, I live just outside their HOA boundary, deliberately so. I read every line of every document before I bought the land. I knew they governed the neighborhood on the other side of the lake, but the water itself? That was mine. I purchased the deed to the lake and surrounding 3 feet of shoreline, something few people knew was even possible. It started with a note. Dear resident, your boat is an eyesore and violates HOA aesthetic regulations. Please remove it immediately or be subject to fines. Then came a formal letter. I called the number listed. Hi, I said plainly. I think you're confused. I'm not part of your HOA. A woman with a clipped voice responded.
Mister, your property borders our community, and as such, we're within our rights to enforce certain visual standards.
You're absolutely not, I replied. My property is private, and I own the lake. Silence. Then
You'll be hearing from us.
Then came the trespassers. It seemed like every Saturday, a group of HOA members would come down to my lake to fish. They'd dock their boats on the far side, where the HOA's public path met the edge, and wade in like they owned the place. So I took action. I installed cameras, signs. Karen was furious.
You can't do this.
She shouted one afternoon as I stood on my dock.
This lake has been open to the community for decades.
Not anymore, I said calmly. I bought it 6 years ago. She huffed.
Then you should have warned us.
I don't have to warn anyone that they're trespassing. She left in a storm, muttering threats. I didn't take them seriously until 2 days later, when a sheriff showed up at my door.
Sorry to bother you,
He said.
Got a call from the HOA saying you're obstructing public access to the lake.
I showed him the deed. His eyebrows rose.
Well, I'll be. You weren't kidding.
Nope. But Karen wasn't done. Suddenly, I was receiving bad reviews online for a non-existent business at my address. Finally, I had enough. I compiled the footage. Karen fishing on my dock, dumping garbage, yelling at me, and trespassing. I contacted a lawyer and had a cease and desist drafted. I sent copies to every board member of the HOA. Then I went one step further. I put up a new sign at the boat entrance the HOA often used. Private lake. Fishing privileges revoked for HOA members. Trespassers will be prosecuted. A few weeks went by with silence. I figured it had ended. Until I saw them, Karen and a couple of board members standing at the edge of the lake, staring at the sign like it had personally insulted their ancestors. She didn't come back. Ironically, I still fish every weekend. Alone, peacefully, just like I wanted. And the best part? The HOA eventually tried to host a community fishing day and had to cancel it because the lake was inaccessible. No apology, no acknowledgement. After all, I didn't start this war, but I sure as hell ended it.